Good morning everyone. Today we are going to see about the conditional execution in Python programming. So what is this? Before starting this, we must know what are all the Boolean expressions. Boolean, as you all know, it will have two values, true or false. It is also called as predicate, having only two values, true or false. The term Boolean comes from the British mathematician named George Boole. In the Python editor, if you type true, you will be getting the value as true. And if you are typing false, you will be getting the value as false. If you type like type of true, it will return Boolean. Similarly, if you type type of false, you will get the class name as bool. That means the type of this false is Boolean. So this is what your Boolean expression. So Boolean expression can be return using this relational operators. The first relational operator is x equal to y. If you want to check both the values are same, means you will be using this operator double equal to. If the value x is equal to y, it will return the value as true. If both the values are different, it will return the value as false in the Boolean expression. The next relational operator is less than. If x is less than y, it will return true. If x is not less than y, it will return false. The third one is less than or equal to. If x value is less than y or the x value is equal to y, it will return the value as true. Otherwise, it will return the value as false. If the x value is greater than y, it will return true. If x value is not greater than y, it will return false. Similarly, if the x value is not equal to y, it will return true. If x value is equal to y, it will return false if you are using not equal to relational operator. For example, if 10 is less than 20, whether 10 is less than 20? Yes, so it will return the value as true if you are using a Boolean expression, Boolean type. If you are having 10 greater than or equal to 20, whether 10 is greater than or equal to 20? No, so it will return the value as false. If x is less than 100, if the value of x is less than 100, then it will return true. Otherwise, else if the value of x is 200, it will return the value as false. So similarly, x not equal to y, x value is 100 and y value is 200, means it will return true. Otherwise, it will return false. So these are all the Boolean expressions and the examples. So here we can see one more example using the Python editor. So the Python program will be saved using the extension .py. So assume you are having the Boolean a equal to true. By default, the a will be taken as a Boolean variable, b equal to false. You are assigning two values a and b as true and false. And you are printing like a equal to a. What is there in the a? True. Therefore, it will print a equal to true. After giving one space before this b, you are printing b equal to b. b equal to is false. So now what you are doing, you are reassigning the value of a. That is, initially the a value is true. Now you are changing that a value to false. If you print or use the print statement again and you are printing a and b, you will be getting both the value as false because b value is already false and now you have reassigned the value of a as also false. So this is an example for using the Boolean expression. So when you will be using this Boolean expressions, if you want to compare some expression for its equality or inequality, you will be going for this Boolean expression. So you will be comparing those expression using the relational operators, whatever we have seen so far. For example, if you are just writing like x plus 2 less than y by 10, means it will be taken it as the value to the left of less than will be taken as 1, like x plus 2 will be considered as one expression, and the value to the right of less than will be taken as the second expression, that is y by 10. So we will see the remaining conditional executions here. So the first type is simple if statement. So the syntax for if statement is if keyword followed by the condition colon. Colon is the main thing. Then and in the next line you have to give an indentation, that is a tab you have to give, and you can start writing the statements, if condition statements there. It must be indented, or it must be using one space there. Do not mix the spaces and the tabs there. For example, if x is less than 10 colon, you can write it as y equal to x. It can be written in the next line, or you can write it in the same line, but not as you, after giving some space, you can't start this if condition. Okay, this is what the thing is. You can write in both the ways. You can write if that particular condition colon, and then you can write the statement in the same line, or you can write it in the next line, but you can't write it like after giving the indentation you can't start this if condition. Okay, so the next this is an example for this if statement. In the second line, you are assigning that dividend and divisor equal to eval is a function used to get the input from the user, evaluate of input of enter two numbers. So it will get two numbers from the user, and it will assign the first number to dividend and the second number to divisor. So what you are checking in the fourth line? In the fourth line, if starts at the first position itself. If divisor not equal to 0, that means the second input you have given, it should not be equal to 0. If it is 0 means you can't divide an element. If it is not equal to 0, and in the fifth line you can note down, you have given an indentation there. Quotient equal to dividend by divisor, the first number divided by the second number, and you will be printing that particular answer in the next line. And after that, that is if you are in the seventh line, you can see that print without an indentation. That means you are coming out of the if block and you are printing it. The print in the sixth line is within the if block, and the print in the seventh line is outside the if block. So while checking for equality, you should use double equal to, not a single equal to. If you want to check whether x is equal to 10 means you must use double equal to, and you should not use a single equal to here. Single equal to will be used for assigning only. So this is the syntax for if else statement. If condition colon, then in the next line with the indentation you will be giving the if block statements, else colon, and in the next line you will be giving with the indentation the else block statements. So this is an example for this if else. So I have taken the same example. I will be getting the dividend and divisor here. If the divisor is not equal to 0, then I will be printing the value else. Else part means if the divisor is equal to 0, just I will be printing it. Division by 0 is not allowed. For example, I have given like the two values as 32 and 0. So my dividend is 32 and the divisor is 0. In that case, it will not execute the if part, it will execute the else part, and it will print division by 0 is not allowed. If I am giving the two values as 4, 2, 4 and 2, in that case what happens? The if part will be evaluated, and it will be giving me the answer as 4 divided by 2, you will get 2. So this is an example for if else. The next one is compound Boolean expression. It is nothing but combination of two or more logical operators are called as compound Boolean expressions. For example, assume you are having two expressions E1 and E2. If you are using the AND operator, when the value will be true, if both the expressions are having the true value, then only you will be having the true value. Otherwise, everything will be false. If you are using an OR operator, in that case, if any one of the expression is true, you will be getting the true value. If both the expression is false, you will be getting the false value. And not even, it is very easy. If you are using a false value, it will return true. If you are using a true value, it will return false. So we are going to use more than one operators here. And OR are binary operators, because this AND operator and OR operator need two expressions to evaluate. Not operator is an unary operator. Just it will give you just the opposite of that operator. Not is having higher precedence than your and or operator. And while comparing or and will be having higher precedence than your or operator. And similarly, and or are left associative. That is, it will be calculated from the left, whereas not is a right associative. It will be calculated from the right. And or are having lower precedence than the assignment operator. So we will see here some of the expressions. Python allows an expression like x less than or equal to y and y less than or equal to z. What does it means that is given in the next line. It will check like x less than or equal to y, y is less than or equal to z. This is what. You can combine this expression into a compound Boolean expression by using this and here. If you are using and means here you are using a compound expression. If you want to test the equivalence of three variables, you can use it here as if x is equal to y equal to z. It will return true if all are same. It will return false if they are having different values. So assume you are having two variables x and y having the value 10 and 20. So first what you are assigning in B. In B you are checking whether x is equal to 10. X value is 10. Whether 10 is equal to 10? Yes. So it will return true. So in the next line what you are checking whether x is not equal to 10. X value is 10. Whether 10 is not equal to 10? No. They are equal. So it will return false. The next one is B equal to x equal to 10 and y equal to 20. It's correct. X value is 10. Therefore 10 is equal to 10 and 20 is equal to 20. So it will return true. Likewise, I have given some more expression, just you can go through that. This is what your compound expressions, that is you are using more than one value there. Okay. So here you are having one short circuit evaluation, that is if you are using an and operator in the compound expression, if the left side expression is false, then it will not evaluate the right side expression. For example, x not equal to 0 and z by x greater than 1. If x is equal to 0, if the first condition, the first expression is false, it will never evaluate the second expression after that and keyword. So this is what is called as short circuit evaluation. Next comes your nested conditionals. So in this nested conditional is nothing but within one if you will be having another if, that is nested if. For example, you can see in the first example, you are getting one value from the user in the range 0 to 10. If the value is greater than or equal to 0, then in the third line you are having another if, that is if within another if is called as nested if. Okay. So what you are checking next, if the value is less than 10, because we have asked the user to enter the values between 0 to 10. If the value is greater than or equal to 0, in the second line you are checking whether the values are less than 10. If they are less than 10, it will print within that second if in range. And this print done is outside of both the if values. That is what it is starting from the first line. You can see the next example also. Here also you are getting the input in the range 0 to 10 and here you are using that and operator, that is the compound expression. Value greater than or equal to 0 and value less than or equal to 10 print in range. If the value is less than 0, in that case it will not check the second expression whether the value is less than 10. So that is the short circuit evaluation you are having. So this is an enhanced range, another example where you have used if else within that another outer if is having another inner if, that is the nested ifs. If value is greater than or equal to 0, within that you are checking using another if value. If the value is less than or equal to 10, you will print the value as value is in range. Else, if the value is greater than 10, it will print as the value is too large. else. This else part in the seventh line is for the if statement in the second line. If the value is greater than or equal to 0, it will execute the lines from 3 to 6. If the value is less than 0, if that is you are giving a negative value, at that time it will go to the seventh line and it will print the eighth statement, that is value is too small, and finally it will print done. Okay, so this is the enhanced checking range. So the next one is multi-way decision statement. So here you will be using if, else if, likewise all the nested statements. This is multi-way. So you can check here, if the value is less than 0, you are printing something and you are checking, you are going for the else statement. Within the else statement you are having another if, and within that else if, likewise it goes on. So this is what is called as multi-way decision statements. So this can be replaced in Python by a multi-way conditional construct like if, elif, else. For example, if value is less than 0, you will be printing too small. Else if can be combined into. In the previous slide we have seen this multi-way decision statement, else in the next line if value equal to 1. Now you can check else and if can be combined, and you are using one keyword as elif. Elif means else if. Okay, likewise you can goes on. That is what is called as multi-way conditional construct. This is the one you are having it in Python. So the next one is conditional expressions. Here I have given you some examples. So in the second line you are getting a number, and in the third line you are just printing it like 1 bar, then the value what you have got it from the user, next another bar, equal to minus n if n is less than 0. That means if the user have given the positive number, you are converting it into a negative number. Else n means if you have given the negative number, it will be printing it as positive number. In that example you can see here, if the user is giving the input as minus 34, this minus 34 will be printed as 34. If the user have given 0 will be considered as it is not a positive number and not a negative number, so it will not be converted. The third one, if I am giving a positive number 100, then it will be converted to a negative number minus 100. Okay, so this is what the conditional expressions. So the last thing we are going to see in this chapter is errors in conditional statements. If the value is, if a value you are giving is in the range 0 to 10, means you can use the first line like x value should be greater than 0 and it should be, or it should be less than 10. If you are using and there, then it is how it will be. If the x value is greater than 0 or x value is less than or equal to 10, at the same time it cannot be both 0 and less than 10. For example, my value is 7. 7 is greater than 0. Okay, and what you are checking in the x value 7 is less than or equal to 10. So both the conditions are true here. Assume you are using and there instead of or. If 7 is greater than 0, so it will check the second condition, and 7 is less than or equal to 10. Both the conditions are satisfied, so it will print the value. But what is there in the second line? If value is less than 0 and at the same time value should be greater than 10. At the same time a value cannot be less than 0 and greater than 10. Assume the same value 7. 7 is, whether 7 is less than 0? No, it is false. And whether 7 is greater than 10? Yes. If the left side value is false, it will not check the right side value. So while using this and or, you should be very careful, because it should be some range. The value cannot be 0 and less than 0 and greater than 10 at the same time. So these are all the some of the errors that will be made in the conditional statements. So with this we are finishing this chapter. We'll see the remaining things in the next video. Thank you.